What's going on, chosen ones? This is Chose to Game back again with another video for you guys. Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can use a budget team to go up against the hardest team, say an S rank, S plus rank, whatever the case. We're going to try to see if we can make the best budget team possible using just a few classes, guys. But before we actually get into the video, guys, if this is your first time here or if you have not yet subscribed to the page, start now by subscribing down below and click that notification bell to the right so you are always notified of my next video. Okay, guys, let's jump right into the video now. Let's go! Guys, I am super excited, man. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I'm always excited, like duh. But anyway, guys, the reason why I'm so excited about this video is because a lot of people out there are just sick and tired of these monster cards or these prime legend cards or these legend cards. You just want to be able to get a card under about 600 million, right? Under 600 million GP and be able to be competitive online, right? Get to that plus 10, get to that whatever level you want to get to, add your equipment, add whatever you need to add, even the uniform, just to get those boost levels up there so you can be competitive with the S rank, S plus rank teams, guys. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go over the types of cards that you want to look for, the prices of each card that you want to look for, as well as the stats of the cards that you want to look for. We're going to go over the ranking for the position as well and the importance in that. And guys, just a quick disclaimer, this has nothing to do with the actual video. Just want to make sure that you guys know that the players that I pick, okay, they're my choices. They're the choices that I chose to go with. You do not have to use these exact players. You can just use my criteria to help you find the specific players that you want to look for, okay guys? So hopefully this helps you guys. We're going to jump right into the exact players that I chose as well as why I chose them, okay guys? Let's do that right now. Okay, one quick thing before I jump over to show you who my first baseman is. I wanted to quickly show you this thing. Now, Pablo Sandoval, as you can see up here, he's a franchise card. You see that +1 right there, the 93 and then 557 million with 5 cards available to you. There's an I right next to it. Guys, make sure you always click that I. It's very important that you understand that this is going to be very beneficial to you because there's times where there's cards selling for a lot less than they're valued and there's cards that are selling for a lot more than they're valued. You have to understand the true value of the card, and that's by clicking that I button. Okay guys, I just wanted to quickly tell you that. Let's jump over to my first baseman. Yeah, so my first baseman, the person that I wanted to go with is the one and the only Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian Gonzalez is a beast. First of all, his first baseman stat gives me an S rank, right? So him being at first base, his defense is around an S rank level. Number 2, his left-right contact is above 90. That's 1. And then the next thing is his power. His power is around 103, guys. His defense is fantastic. Fielding is at 97. He has a throw of 95. Guys, this is the exact kind of card that you want for a first baseman. Now, this is my choice. You, of course, if you have another choice, you can also go with that. But another big thing that you wanted to focus on is making sure that you stick to 3 different types of cards. Either milestone, franchise, or classic. These are the 3 cards that you can get around that 500, like low 600 mark and still get a very, very good player. Now heading over to the second base position, guys, you guys know I had to go with Brandon Phillips. I truly love this card. I think that it's a serious glitch in the game. I bat around 600 to 700 consistently with this card almost every week. It's ridiculous. He has an S rank for defense, guys. He has over 90 both left and right contact. He has over 100 on power, guys. He has a great arm over there at second base. Guys, his fielding is decent as well, but his run, guys, he can steal bags left and right all day, guys. So this is definitely a great pick for a second baseman. Now my third baseman, we have to go with Pablo Sandoval. Now this card's a franchise card. Like what I said, we have to focus on 3 different cards: the franchise, the milestone, and we have to focus on the classic. With this card, we have over 96, over 95 for left contact. We have a 99 for right contact. We have 97 for power, guys. We have 95 for throw, 90 for field, guys, and he has decent running abilities, guys. Like what I said before, make sure that they have really good stats over those 90s for left contact, right contact, over 95 for power, as well as the S grade for fielding, guys. That's all you want to focus on. Yeah, guys, so now we're heading over to the catcher position, and to be honest with you, this was the hardest one. We actually ended up having to go to the high class card, and we found this Jonathan Lucroy card. Now, it's not the best card out there, but it takes care of a lot of the specifics that we focused on, which was making sure he had an S grade at that position level. We also wanted to make sure that he had at least a 90 when it came to left contact. Right contact, he had 100. Power was a little low. I had other choices that I had out there too, but this one just made the most sense out of all of them because the throwing behind the plate was also decent, so we wanted to focus on Jonathan Lucroy. Now over at the shortstop position, we went with Hanley Ramirez, again with that S grade at his position level. He has a great left and right contact of 93 and 94. He has a power of 100. He has a throwing of 90. Guys, he is the all-around package, and that's why I went with him. So heading over to left field, we went with Starling Marte. Look at these stats, guys. Left contact is 96. Right contact is 99. Power is 95. We have a run of 103 at the first level, guys. His throwing arm is 92. Guys, you have to make sure that you do all this research to make sure you get the perfect player for that specific position, guys. So I'm gonna stick with him for my left field. Now heading over to center field, we went with Lorenzo Cain, guys. Now the reason why I went with him is because, again, S rank. He has a 98 in left contact, right of 98, and his power is 93, which is not bad, guys. Of course, he has great speed, and because he is a fantastic defender, I need him in my center field. Heading over to right field, I could not resist the chance of going with my live SE card that I use on my personal team, and that's the Aristides Aquino card. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but this card is a beast, guys. He has an S rank for his position. He has well over 90s on both left and right contact, and well over 100 on his power, guys. Great speed, great defense, guys. You have to look at this card. Now, when selecting a DH, I went with the classic card Hall McRae, and the reason why I went with Hall McRae is because he had a great left and right contact of 100, and then he had a power of 90. Now, even though he had a low overall of 91, his value was really cheap, so I said, you know what, this is going to help me all around. So that 494 million definitely helped me out. Now, guys, I'm going to quickly go through all my bench players. We have Ryan Braun here over in that left field position, the milestone card, 150 over 150. We have the Nelson Cruz World Best card here. He's the DH. He's going to be on the bench as well. We have an Andrew McCutchen here over at center field, milestone card. That's the 150 over 150 as well. We have a franchise Johnny Ray here over at second base. And finally, we have a Jack Clark over here in right field for our bench, guys. If you guys wanted to specifically see those cards, just pause it and look at those cards again, okay, guys? Okay, guys, we're jumping right over to the starting pitchers now. And there's a few things that you want to focus on when it comes to starting pitchers. The first thing you want to focus on is stuff. So I went with Clayton Richards, the franchise card, and I wanted to also make sure that I had a pitcher that was going to have a great pitch mix, something where I can have a two-seamer cutter mix. I love those two pitches that I can use together. But as you can see here, he has great command, great break, but that stuff is around 96. Which is really, really important, guys. Stuff actually keeps the ball in the park as well as reduces the amount of doubles being hit, okay, guys? So when looking for one of your cards, of course, we want to still try to focus on the milestone, franchise, as well as classic cards. And let's see what our second starting pitcher is going to look like. Okay, now it's time for us to head over to the second starting pitcher, and we're going to be going over to the classic cards. The reason why we're heading over to the classic cards is because we found Mr. No-Hitter himself, Ken Forsch. Now, Ken Forsch's value is really reasonable. It's 524 mil, which is exactly where we want to be. He has the four-seam fastball with the forkball mixed in. which is great. Even though his velocity is not that fast, it makes the forkball even more deadly. The next thing, guys, is look at his stuff. At level 1, he is 100 stuff, guys. 100 stuff. As we said before, we want to focus on that stuff. We want to make it as high as we possibly can, because that's what reduces the amount of home runs being hit, doubles being hit, so on and so forth, guys. Okay, guys, now we're heading over to the third starting pitcher that we chose, and that is a classic card, Mr. Rick Langford. The reason why we went with this is because he has that screwball that is nasty, and he also has a sinker. Now, that screwball sinker mix is just disgusting in this game. The reason why you want that together is because the screwball can definitely be deceived as a sinker at times, vice versa, as well as throwing that fastball right in there just to mix that up as well. Great mixes, guys. Look at the value. Remember, we want to stay around that 526 mil, 550 mil, whatever the case may be. As long as you don't go over 600 mil, then that's perfect. Again, stuff is around 100, guys. That's exactly where we need to be. Guys, we are now at our fourth starting pitcher, and I had to go with Zack Greinke. Zack Greinke is nasty. First of all, the guy has a pitch mix that anyone can use. Literally anyone can mess around with this pitch mix and make it work for them. That's number one. Number two, his value is perfect. That's exactly where we need to be. Number three, guys, look at his stuff. He has 103 stuff. Even though his velocity is low, we still have that sinker, we still have that two-seamer, we still have that cutter. It's perfect, guys. It works. Guys, now talking about our final starting pitcher, we went with Mr. Max Scherzer, which is a 300K milestone card, guys. And the reason why I went with this one for my last one, first of all, the value again is exactly where we need it to be, but that stuff looks fantastic. The break looks fantastic. The command is exactly where we need to be. I don't really worry too much about the velocity. That can be built up through upgrades and everything else, guys. But he has a great pitch mix. That cutter, that fastball, the curveball, I can use the slider. I love the slider. The sliders are nasty, guys. But yeah, guys, this is exactly what you want to look for. Those three cards, of course, remember, the milestone, classic, or even a franchise card, guys. Just wanted to make sure I repeat those things for you. And guys, when it comes to starting pitchers, I do have some more expensive starting pitchers. These are around 600 mil, but Mike Norris has that screwball, and he has a great stuff, as well as Cole Hamels, who's around that 600 million as well. So you can look into these guys and see if you would like to choose them instead of the ones that I chose. Now, starting off my relief pitchers, we're going with Luke Gregerson. And the reason why we're going with Luke Gregerson, of course, is that two-seamer cutter. The stuff is pretty high, and of course, that price point is exactly where we need it to be. So now we're going over to the second relief pitcher, and to be honest with you guys, I had to go to career highs because it was extremely hard trying to find any kind of great valued relief pitcher. The reason why I went with this card is because he has that splitter, that four-seam fastball. He has great stuff at 101, and the value was really good. Other than that, I couldn't find anything in franchise, milestone, or even classic. And the third one, the same exact thing happened. Had to go to career high once again. Found an Adam Ottavino card that actually was pretty good. I mean, exactly what we're looking for. That stuff is really high. The value is really great. You have that cutter two-seamer mix. So that's exactly the kind of cards that I need. Going over to our fourth relief pitcher, we had to go with Jared Hughes. Even though this is a career high again, Jared Hughes has been lights out for me, so I have to definitely share him with you guys. With that 100 stuff, great value, and he has that sinker four-seam mix with the slider. Amazing, guys. Guys, we are finally at the fifth relief pitcher, and we went with an award winner, Josh Hader. I know it's an award winner card. I really didn't want to do this, but the value was decent, as well as the velocity was decent, plus the stuff is great. He has a two-seamer, changeup, slider, four-seamer, and he's a strong lefty in the bullpen. Why not, right, guys? So hopefully that works out for you guys. Now, guys, I do have a considerable mention that I added at the last minute, Mr. Darren O'Day. Now, you can see his value is exactly where we need it to be. So why is he not in the pitch mix? Why is he not one of the relief pitchers? It's because when I originally saw this card, it was valued at around 600 million. And the issue with that is we cannot go over 600 million. Now remember what I told you before, guys, you have to focus on that eye. I did not click the eye to see the actual value of the card, and that was my fault. So then I lost out on having him on the team. Not saying that I can't still buy him, it's just one of the big mistakes that I've made. Now for the closing pitcher position, guys, we went with Mark Melancon. This card is the milestone card with 150 saves. He has a full pitch mix here. His value is exactly where we need it to be, of around 518 mil. He has amazing stuff. His velocity is crazy. This is the card that I believe that everybody should get. Guys, hopefully you love that. I went through everything in detail with those players, guys. I went through a lot of work with that stuff, man. It took me some time. But guys, we're going to head over to see exactly how the lineup looks. It's time to see the team. We're going to click on management. We're going to go to roster B here. And as you can see, these are the batters for our Budget Beasts 2.0, guys. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I made a Budget Beast before. And this team is just way better than the first team. And we're going to actually go over to the pitcher side as well to check on the pitchers. Oh, wait. They're not +5. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to make them +5s real quick. Let me just quickly snap and see what happens here. Okay, guys, there you have it. That's the Budget 2.0 team, guys. I'm going to be doing some gameplays with this team. And if I win, I upgrade my team. If I don't upgrade. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me. I'm going to be pushing out more videos for this budget squad so you can see how they do. But as always, guys, you know what to do. Peace out.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. No, waste your time no more.
A high, hard one. That's a grand slam.